Oh, look at that! That's going to be a picture. Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. Good to see Piccolo Bambini in the Twitch chat. That was a quick join in to say hello. You must be late over there in the old US of A. Stephen King's in the YouTube chat. Duncan Murray is in the YouTube chat. Hello. We are... it's nice of you to join me. For those of you that are across both these channels, Twitch and YouTube. We're just testing. We're just doing a little bit of a test. We're going to run through a pre-selection race day. Since people keep saying, where's the stream? Where's the stream? I don't remember saying I was going to stream this, but I'm going to stream it anyway because it's media day soon. So let's make sure that we can get rid of any problems today before media day, and hopefully everyone's liveries will be complete by then. Some of the liveries are actually already on these cars, which is good to see. Some of them waiting to reveal on the big day. But we are here. Volkswagen Jetta Cup is returning. Season 4. Can you believe it? What a journey we've been on. 4 seasons already. Think, when did we start this, Stephen, if you're still there? This was 2021 was season 1, was it? This is 2023 now. It's becoming a yearly thing because of the other series that happen throughout the year. So genuinely, we're going to have to stop calling it season 4, 5, 6 and all that soon. We're going to have to call it the 2023 season because that is what it is. It's the first time all these guys are back on track together. Some of them have been racing in other series with the same car to whet their appetite and to prepare for the biggest event of their year. Is that too much to say? I don't know if it's too much to say. Anyway, pre-selection race, WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. There's some drivers that we won't recognise. We've got some new drivers joining us this season, along with a load of regulars, some familiar team names as well. I am your commentator, Jack Johns, otherwise known as The Racing Line. It will be broadcast here on YouTube and Twitch and on VCO eSports, also powered by GT Omega. Anyway, let's have a look at the old timing screen. Let's have a throwback to our lovely overlay. We've got some new flags on the left-hand side. I tell you what, one thing I do need to get rid of. Actually, do you know what? I'm just going to ignore it. It will say Summit Point in the top right every now and then, but it's not Summit Point, so we can forget about it. There's a lot of drivers out there in this practice session. We're not going to watch the whole practice. And I am definitely not the fastest with a 33.7 lap time. So let's skip this session and go to qualifying, shall we? Which we can do today because technically this is not live. Although it is live because I'm live right here. But the race is already done 2 weeks ago. But trust me, I've forgotten what's happened, so it should be fairly natural as we see them all come out. Look at Anderson's Viking Raiders car. Steven says just a black screen. On Twitch? Duncan, help me out here. I can see it on my end. Hello? Help me out. Let me try clicking on my restream's showing it as well. This sounds like a Steven Samp Twitch problem. Yep, Duncan can see it. I can see it on OBS and Restream. Maybe it's an advert issue. Maybe it's trying to give you an advert, Stephen. Anyway, 1 minute. Qualifying is underway for this race. The current seems to be focusing on Stephen King there, who flies round the kink. Yeah, Jan Weiswanger in chat as well says he sees it. Stephen King chasing down Eric Manenveld, a driver who has changed teams this season, driving in the Send It and Bend It team. Let's have a look at that running order. I don't know why there's times on the screen already. These are teething issues that probably are going to happen throughout the season because we're streaming on a replay. What happens if I click this? Oh, no, we don't want that. What about this one? I don't know if that did anything. Anyway, track map. There we go. Look at all those dots. Will this be on VCO as well, says Duncan. It should be. I will be... Well, I've contacted them already. Iku, our photographer, knows. Media day is on Monday. Haven't had a response from them yet, but they are obviously still... I mean, it's the weekend, so give them a break. Give them a break. Look at these two. Look at these two Pulsar cars driving around together. That is Joshua Germany and Stephen King. The numbers in this session are also incorrect, and they will be correct for Monday's race. We need to pick a stream day, guys, because obviously it would be better if we have a regular day. Whilst I think about that, let's go down this current list of drivers that we have got entering this season. We have got Jake Cranston, two-time Jetta Cup champion. Could have been a three-time. Had to take 2 rounds out as he visited the Dubai Historic Grand Prix Festival. Morgan Burkhardt taking the championship, Season 3 championship, the 2022 season. Morgan Burkhardt is with us this season. He's not in this race, I believe, but he is with us this season. Jake Cranston driving for Masters of Torque once again. A new rule imposed for this season. Now that we're 4 seasons deep and we've got 2 champions and we've got a lot of statistics, one of the new rules this season is that the top 5 statistically Jetta drivers in this league are not allowed on the same team, to kind of give it a bit of a BOP. Otherwise, we probably would have seen, as we have done in the Touring Car Championship, Jake Cranston and Morgan Burkhardt team up together. We might have seen John Bailiff join, potentially Street Casuals. I don't know. This is just theoretical, but these teams, we try and keep them even. Obviously, some drivers will be stronger than others. Look at that, Stephen Burns. I'll tell you what, Stephen Burns, let's talk about Stephen Burns. Another returnee, the Send It or Bend It leader, the Scottish driver, who's currently gone quickest. I'm going to say this right now. I don't know who's watching. Oh, I know Stephen's in the chat, actually. I shouldn't say this. I don't want to let it get to his head. I'm going to say it anyway. Genuinely, not saying this, but something has happened in 2023 to Stephen Burns. He is going to be my pick. Not for champion, but he's going to be my watch this season. Stephen Burns has improved massively over this last year, and I think he's going to be holding his own even stronger than he ever has this season, in Season 4, if he can keep it together. But he's got the qualifying pace, which I think might have been what his hindrance was last season. But his qualifying pace has improved massively, and his driving was always there. So now let's see what he can do in the final standings across this 7-round season. This 7-round season, by the way, we're returning to America, and America only. It's an all-American season. Media Day, which will happen soon. Drivers will race on Monday. The stream will likely be on a Friday, but it can be watched back at any time, of course. Media Day will be at Lime Rock, West Bend, before we head to Barber Motorsports Park for the first time in Jetta Cup history. It will be interesting to see what happens throughout that session. Barber Motorsports Park, followed by Summit Point Raceway, a round that was voted for by the drivers. Summit Point being Martin Wallace's only pole position and often throws up some surprises. Canadian Tire Motorsports Park is often a tricky one, but a favourite amongst the drivers before we head to a break at the mid-season point around the 16th of October. Round 4 we head to Virginia International Raceway, which will be an interesting one. We have raced there once before for a fun race, not a championship round, and it is the full layout, so it's going to be like 6 laps for the sprint race because it is such a long circuit. Watkins Glen International, also voted for by the drivers. Round 5 and round 2 were put up to the votes. Everyone wanting to go to the Watkins Glen. That is the one without the chicane and it's the Cup layout. So it's going to be a fairly fast round and very slipstream heavy. And we return to Road Atlanta, of course, another driver's favourite circuit, I think. Jake Cranston often showing strong pace around there, and surprisingly Sam Van Olst as well. But Sam Van Olst probably prefers Watkins Glen because it's a massive slipstream fest. Willow Springs makes its debut on the calendar. A brand new circuit to the iRacing service. And there it is. It's the final round. I don't know what to expect. None of us know what to expect at Willow Springs, to be honest. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And that is what our calendar looks like for season 4, the 2023 season of the Volkswagen Jetta Cup. Patrick Dupart returns to the ORD team. ORD consists of the Polish driver who is often fast in qualifying, often fast in sprint races, but then when the reverse grid comes around, I wonder if Patrick can hold it together this season. I'm not sure. Who else is joining Patrick? It is, of course, team leader of ORD, Dan Thornton, in the number 74 machine. And did Andre race? I don't think he raced, but Andre oh yeah, no, yeah, he did. There he is. I thought I remember seeing him on circuit. Andre Majorek there in the number 44 car, currently P11. Daniel Downing makes his return for Goldwing in the number 17 car. Sam Van Olst also driving for Goldwing. What car is that in front? Number 18. Probably one of the new drivers. Oh, they know that qualifying's nearly finished because they're all driving off into the wall. What does Duncan say in chat? Stephen Kyle, and if Dan Downing doesn't crash, they'll be ones to watch out for. Potentially. I'm sticking with Stephen Burns for my most improved driver this season. Street Casuals might be ones to watch though. Henry Morse, Austin Farr, and they lose their star driver, or one of their, I mean it was an all-star lineup, let's be honest, but Eric Manitveld was a Street Casuals driver, drove for Send It and Bend It in the Clios, liked it so much, stayed with them in a shock change of teams. Don't know if I said that already, but Street Casuals get a new driver for this season as we head, oh wait, I need to get used to doing the grid again. Does it work? Jake Cranston on pole position for this selection day. Daniel Downing gets P2. Patrick Dupart, Stephen Burns, John Bailiff, Mats Anderson up there in the top 6 for Viking Raiders, a new team offshoot of Team ORD. Kieran Dempsey joins Win It or Bin It in P7. Stephen King P8. Austin Farr, Jack Johns in P10. Carl Ridley and Andre Majorek rounding off the top 12. 13th was Jerry Agar. David Corpus for Lurchus Gaming makes a return. Josh Germany. Ruslan, a new driver, joins Zero Fox Given. Greg Otley, Tim Rutten, a new driver. Eric Manitveld uses a Mundere round off your top 20. Marcus, how do I say this? Gjesdal, Michael Johnson, Jan Weisfanger, and Sam Van Olst round off your top 24. Dan Thornton, Duncan Murray, Loic Thon, Andy Fox, Ike Lequay, Joe Gibson, Andy Gushwin, and Sebastian Holmichael round off the rest of the grid. That is everyone. They are going to need to give me time to round that off for sure. There we go. That's the old grid, the grid shot that we enjoy. Let's change those times to intervals so that we can see the gaps with everyone. Dan Downing giving me plenty of time to get to the grid. I appreciate that. Let's get the track map is already on. Here we go. Who's excited in the chat? Nice to see so many of you join me on a Sunday. This was very unplanned. It was just to get it done and test everything's working. But here we go then. The first sprint race of pre-season testing. An 8-lap race, if I remember rightly. No pit stops. Jake Cranston on pole position. Dan Downing, the Mr. Saturday, as we should call him. Always quick in qualifying. Starts in P2 with Patrick Dupart and Stephen Burns in P3 and 4. What is going to happen? I actually can't remember. I will say this, actually. During this preseason round, the X's were set to 15x, so be aware if you see any drive-throughs, although I think some of them were cleared in this first race. They weren't cleared in the second race. Let's see how this goes. Jake Cranston gets a fairly clean getaway as they all start. Well, we can't really see them all. The camera's got behind all the drivers. Look at... have you missed that roaring diesel sound? As they all come down into turn 1. Jake Cranston has a hell of a lead. There's there's a bit of a slide there. That is Mats Kaspersen Anderson, as he changed his names to a bit of a, that was a bit harsh from Carl Ridley. Did you see him run out there, give him a bit of a shoulder barge out the way? But actually, other than that slide, never mind. I was about to say no one has spun at turn 1, but Jan Weisfanger, introductory for Meatball Motorsport, spins round, reverses back onto the circuit and continues on his way. It's a great start to the pre-season test for Mr. Weisfanger indeed. How do I get rid of the time at the top? I have forgotten. Where is that option? You guys just watch the race while I figure this out. There should be an obvious button. Oh, look at that. I can't. There's so much going on right now. That was David Corpus sliding wide. I don't recognise some of these new liveries. Cool. There we go. Lap 1 of 8 then. Here we go. I am back in the room. Jake Cranston pulling away nicely. The gap now 8 tenths. Patrick Duparty's up into P2. Jan got spun by his new teammate. It's Meatball mandatory to do that. Those bumps are 4x. Daniel Downing down to P3. John Bailiff through cleanly. Oh, why have they got lime green on their car? I made them red on the thing. I thought they were red. Lime green, send it or bend it. Look at that. Stephen Burns and Stephen King side by side. And that is Austin Farr. Jack Johns behind. Kieran Dempsey, the Irish driver, joining Win It or Bin It. He had offers from other teams. Joshua Germany holds it around the outside of Andre Majorek as they go side by side through the fast right. This is a dangerous corner to do. Hey! Joshua Germany losing the rear end. And look at them. They both go off. Touches each other's rears. And that is Carl Ridley coming through with Jerry Agard also gaining both of those positions. And Greg Otley for ZFG returns, goes around the outside of Joshua Germany there and also gains both of those positions. Or does he? Is Joshua Germany going to try and hold on towards the inside of the King? This is a dangerous corner to be side by side. Greg Otley with the Grenadines flag, I want to say, on top of his car. Grenada? Grenadines? I'm not sure. But he swoops around the outside, gives him minimal room and completes the move. Joe Gibson for Viking Raiders is going into the pits already. That will be with a meatball. Can we do
I just remembered season 3, Dan.
Oh, we've got radios on. Hopefully no one swears. Can't remember. Let's just leave it on for the fun because we're only on the Racing Line channel. We're not on VCO today. Joe Gibson, why is he in the pits? What has happened? What happens if I click a replay on a replay? Here he is. Timing screen will probably mess up a little bit. That's a blinking car in front of him. That's Andy Schwind. And Schwind, as Jerry Agard told me it pronounced. I don't know why Joe goes into the pits. I cannot see any issues. That's where Matt's, not Matt's, Vice Mayor's is. Joe's by himself. Maybe he's eating his dinner or something. Anyway, this comeback swing in English is fast. Really? I want that fact to be true. I enjoy that fact. Okay, so one thing that's going to happen this season is I think replays are going to be a bit trickier. We're going to have to avoid replays at the best. Or just embrace the fact that I might have to re-fast forward to where we were. Basically, I have to kind of see back 2 even though we can have lap 1. Ooh, out the outside. Tim Rutten, I believe, in that lime green car with Duncan Murray and Yeezy Simondere side by side as they go down the hill. Tim Rutten, a new driver. Car probably won't look like that on Monday. Shouldn't do. He is joining... Tim joining Meatball Motorsport? Yeah? I've forgotten. How poor of me. Oh, the timer did go back to 1 lap as they crossed the line. Okay, so the timer fixes itself, but there probably will be timing screen glitches until everyone crosses the line. So... we don't really want to re-watch too much though. I'm not going to do too many replays this season, I don't think. Hopefully I'll just try and catch everything hopefully everyone understands, because otherwise we'll be fast-forwarding back and forth, like we've already seen this battle with Andre Mayerek and Joshua Germany. We'll see Kyle Ridley, Jerry Agard and Greg Otley come through, and it'll be fairly close. Although on the plus side, we could see other battles that are happening at the same time. For example, Murray and Murundere are still side by side. And at the top end of the field, should we have a different camera angle? Where's your onboard buttons? Onboard Stephen Burns. It's more fun in the Philippines, says his bonnet. He's got Stephen King. Bailiff, who is... let's have a look at Bailiff, actually, because he is chasing down Dan Downing, down through the sweeping left.
I just remembered season 3 done.
That's why he said that radio message. He's trying to get into Dan Downing's head. He chases down Depart and Cranston down towards the final corner. He's not going to try and break later. I would have gone for it. Should have sent it. Oh, that's probably a 4X. Bump. What's going on behind Daniel? Not Daniel Downing, John Bailiff. This is Stephen King, who looks ever closer. So, it's a long old snake of cars as they come down through turn 1. And now that we can settle down onto lap 3, what I think is lap 3, or is it lap 2? Is it me or is Jack quite quiet? I don't know. Tell me. I can turn this up a little bit and maybe this down a little bit if the engines are too... If those diesel engines are roaring too loud. Or are you being sarcastic and I've just turned it up and deafened everyone? Message me these things now so that the next one, we don't have these problems. Duncan Murray looking up the inside of Tim Rutten into the King. No, surely not. Bullying the new people. Oh, do you know what? They didn't touch, and Yusa Samundere might pass both of them at this rate. Samundere around the outside and Tim Rutten into the corkscrew. Can he get it done? I think Tim Rutten's going to hold it. Oh, there's the Duncan touch. And Yusa Samundere gets them both. He should thank Duncan for that, the Goldwing driver, as they swoop down through the left-hander. MTK, it's better now, better now. We're definitely on lap 3. Oh, Tim Rutten goes into the pits. That'll be a drive-through. Thank you, Duncan, he says. Gracias, senor. Equal has a slowdown or just a poor run out of the final corner. New driver, Marcus Yezdal for Viking Raiders, up in P18. He's having a good race, as is Ruslan. Do you know what? I've never had to say Ruslan's surname. Kamidalin. Let's go with that. Ruslan Kamidalin, a new driver joining ZFG, an established team from the UAE. Very fast on Assetto Corsa. First time, well, he's done practice for this event, but first time driving the Volkswagen Jetta. Says front-wheel drive is his weakness, but we all know what racing drivers are like. It's just an excuse. Front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, cars are cars. But I wonder, I haven't had a chance to speak to Ruslan yet since after this. I think it will be interesting to get his thoughts on how it went. He was fairly confident coming in, put in a bit of practice, found some pace in the car, finds himself in a world-class field of Jetta drivers in the mid-pack as he sends it. Oh, he's got it very wrong there. But at least, oh no, oh dear, oh dear. There he goes, Andre Mayerek, the victim of a rookie error there. Since that wasn't that long ago, let's replay that. Off board. Let's see how lethal that move was. Here he goes. Absolutely sends it. You can see the squiggle. Actually, Andre was fine. Oh, there it is. Okay, Andre did get screwed a little bit. That was Madenfeld that got the brunt of that. Look at the side of his car. Meatball? Meatball, anyone? Need to watch out for those cones. Everyone hit that cone. Anyway, top 3 looks the same. Jake Cranston, 1.3 seconds in the lead now. Patrick Dupart holds on to P2. Dan Downing P3. Marcus going into the pits with a potential meatball or drive-through. I don't think it was intended to be that much of a send. I think he fell foul of overheated brakes there. Put the brakes on and it didn't stop. Happens to the best of us. I remember it happening to me at Road America once. A lot of angry people. Turn 3. Not amused. Ooh, free wide. Duncan Murray down the inside of Ruslan. It says what a send. Oh, whoa! Andre Marek. No, that's Dan Thornton getting run off there by Ruslan. Maybe just shocked at what was going on. Equalaqua looking to get through. Oh, that Meatball Motorsport car. Sebastian Holmichael braked there, backed out of it. Andy Fox back here in 23rd place. Don't let Andy be in front of you. He's a hell of a defender. Some might say past the line in terms of defence, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. It was just good hard racing, I am sure. Andy Fox, behind Andy Fox is Andy Schwind or Andy Fast. Yeah, Eric Manenveld didn't come into the pits for that. Which means it's either not a meatball or maybe it was one of the ones that got accidentally cleared. I remember clearing a button at some point during the sprint race. I didn't mean to press it. And I just pressed it and it said Duncan Murray and someone else. It wasn't me, I didn't have one. I do get one at the end. Spoiler alert, but it's because I tried taking the pit lane to see if it was quicker to get to the finish line. It wasn't. Ruslan is in the pits, so that will be a drive-through. I'm surprised more people didn't go for the lower X limit, you know? Not because, like, I understand that it limits racing sometimes in terms of sending and being violent. But anyone who regularly finishes below 16th had a chance to finish higher than that with that rule set, because all the top-end ego drivers would have fell foul of that 15x drive-through eventually. Such a sensitive car. Little bumps equals 4x. It is a shame. And that's why Jake probably would want races like this, where he starts in the lead and leads most of the way, all of the way, with no one close enough to hit him. These three all close together. 5, 4, 5. Stephen Burns up there in P6 as well. Jack Johns chasing him down. Do you know what? I thank Past Me for putting work into some of these overlays, because most of it seems to just work this season, which is nice. Fox dropping down the order. I think he's off track somewhere. He's off track on the final turn, is Andy. Should we have a look why? Oh, no, too late. Yeah, he's in the pits. He's in the pits. Greg Otley is still being chased by Joshua Germany here. That type of information is not available. Oh, that's done this. Just realised why. Oh, never mind. I was confused. It says I'm out at the bottom of the screen, but P7 as well. But that's Michael Johnson. I would have had to have a different name. Actually, no, because I'm loading season. This is an interesting one. I don't think I've used this Sector 1 much before. Greg Otley, 1/100 slower in Sector 1 from Kyle Ridley, who he's chasing down, but then 2/10 quicker in Sector 2, and then half a second down in Sector 3, half a tenth down in Sector 4. Might have to use that. Sector 5, another 2/10 down. So Kyle Ridley absolutely blasting away from Greg Otley. He's 3.9 seconds ahead of him now. Eric Maniveld comes into the pits. Okay, so we're on the final lap of this sprint race, and your order doesn't look too far out of sorts to what we would usually expect. Granny Cart says that Cranston car looks bloody quick. He's alright, he just can't race very well. Just wait till you see when he's behind people. He has to use pit stops to get past him, otherwise he just hits him out of the way, I think. Ooh. Only joking, he races, I can't compliment him. Can't do it. Can't compliment a 2-time champion. Should be 3-time. And is he going to be 3-time? Is it going to happen this season? Because I'm expecting some people to step it up this year. Oh look, there it is. There's the moment. That was me testing to see if the pit lane would be a quicker finish, and it wasn't. So I got a black flag. So there he goes. Jake Cranston then wins your pre-season testing sprint race. Patrick Japart does come home in P2. If he can, Patrick is a funny one. If he could just keep that up, I reckon he'd finish top 3 in the season. I really do. Dan Downing, we all know Dan Downing has the pace, but often makes a mistake at some point. Didn't in this race, gets P3, well done. John Bailiff up there in P4. He's got some new stickers on the back of his car. What's the best way of seeing them? Stephen Burns. Nose cam. What does that say? Can't see it. Watch out for Ridley this season, I reckon, says Cranston. I don't know, man. P8 in this. Although he might have got a drive-through. He did get a drive-through in the next one, I think. Genuinely, I'm sticking with it. I don't think you were here, Jake. I'm sticking with Stephen Burns, most improved driver, and he's going to be my one to watch. Not for the championship, but this season I'm rooting for him. Send it or bend it. Obviously, I'm impartial. Wait, I know how I can see the back of John's car. Let's just use an unrealistic camera. There we go. I identify as a bin. John's mini skip hire. Bandit. That's what we wanted to see. And it ticks over into the break, which we don't need to watch. What's the time? 1:05. Let's skip. And then let's grid. Here we go then. Oh no! The replay grid does not work. That's annoying. Because that's not the order, is it? Wait, let me test something. I've broken it now. Absolutely broken it. Do not test this. Ah, there we go. That gets rid of that. Okay. Session plus. So this is the warm-up. And then let's try fast forwarding instead of skipping. This is just SDK problems, really. First round pick, says Greg Otley on the back of his car. Is there anyone else driving around? That's the same as last season. No messages on the back of Patrick's. Post Netherlands. And what is that on his number plate? Is that food? I'm sitting so far forward to my screen right now. Does anyone know what that is on his number plate? I can't show trees in Laguna Seca, Jan. It's just desert. Otherwise, I would have done that already. That looks like food. I can't quite see it clearly. Is that like a Netherlands special dish? Right. Let's see if this works. It's ticked over naturally this time. I didn't skip the session. I don't think it's worked. Yeah, no. Oh, no. That means I'm going to have to manually say what the grid is. Because if I remember rightly... Yeah. Right. So that means Ruslan is on pole position. Joshua Germany is second. Corpus third. Jerry Agard fourth. Andre Mayrick fifth. Carl Ridley sixth. Jack sixth. Austin... No, he's not. Oh, no. This is all broken. Hopefully, this won't be as broken. Because I know that I'm not sixth. I am 27th. All the way down there somewhere. Even... Whoa, am I further back than that? No way. There I am. Well, grid function, replays, reverse grid, does not work. We should do a pool of bets. We should do a pool of bets. Why not? Oh, jump start, Eric Mannenveld. Caught it. There it was. And away they go. Off they go down towards turn one. So it is Duncan Murray that was on pole position. And they're all coming down towards turn one. 32 of the diesel beasts. 3 wide, 3, 4, 5 wide. Whoa. That's John Bailiff off. John Bailiff is off on the dirt. Oh, 3 wide into this corner. Who's that on the left-hand side? That's Geschwind. John Bailiff. Never one to back out, even in that left-hander. And he's got Camadullan. Camadullan on the left-hand side there. Ruslan for ZFG. I think I'm just going to call him Ruslan. Kieran Dempsey and Stephen King swapping over towards the left-hander. Climbing up the hill towards the King. That is Austin Farr, I think, up the road with Kyle Ridley as well. Austin Farr in the spoon livery for Street Casuals. Behind him looks like a lot of people. Andy Geschwind has got John Bailiff. Can't believe I ruined my race with lap 1 meatball. Oh yeah, ruined. Totally ruined. Absolutely distraught. It's over. Another driver that voted for a higher instant limit, knowing that he probably could have got a meatball every lap 1 and finished on the podium. Joshua Germany side by side up in the top 3. What's he doing up here? Why is Joshua Germany in the top 3? He's got Duncan Murray ahead of him. Who's quicker, guys? In chat, everyone vote. Joshua Germany or Duncan Murray? It's quite close, isn't it, when you think about it? When you think about it logically. It seems to be some sort of... oh, there's a load of people in the pits. No, it's not you, Chop. I'm surrounded by meatball cars here. I've got Weissbanger and Holmichael for company. Cranny says Duncan. John says Josh. Matt Sanderson is having a tough learning cycle of this car. Who's this? That's Joseph Gibson for Viking Raiders there. He's got his livery on and ready. And that is Tim Rutten, I think, going down the inside of Andy Geschwind. Austin Farr and Yusa Mundere side by side into the left-hander. Stephen King's going to try and come through as well. Jake Cranston behind all of this. What does it look like from Jake Cranston's on board? This is what it looks like inside. He's got a Lurchus in front of him, a Pulsus in front of him. 2 cars that you never know which one to follow, to be honest. And Jake picks neither of them. Goes through the inside of both, does he? Jesus has lost out 3 places there by the looks of it. King is still there on the outside. Loses the position to Jake. And who else came through past Jesus and Andre? That was Kieran Dempsey. And Stephen Burns made it through as well. Opportunistic See, I could stay with you with a meatball. Dunk hasn't crashed in the pit lane yet. Joshua Germany is about to take the lead though. This will answer that question that was answered. Duncan Murray is not the quicker of the two because Joshua Germany is going to take the lead of this race. This will be why he got so angry that he got 15x, because he was actually showing pace. Oh, Tim Rutten has had an issue, I think. Andy Fox has jumped down the order, and Weissmanger in with a meatball. Agard and Mayerek side by side through turn 1. Jerry Agard looking to go around the outside. I think he's going to do it. He sweeps round Andre Mayerek. Cleanest driver on the grid is the Czech driver for ORD. Greg Otley coming through as well, side by side with Sam Van Olst. Elbows out Carl Ridley. Is he going to get both of them? Something different on the back of Carl Ridley's car. Shall we have a look at that as well whilst we're here? I identify as a bin. It's not over until I win. 300 ping, says on his number plate. Where's the other Win It or Win It car? Kieran Dempsey. What did they put on the back of his? He's got the same. That's boring. Maybe they'll change that. What about the Send It or Bend It boys? Fox Express, Foxy. Burns Express, Steve 69. Oh, who's that? That's Greg. Oh dear. Greg, Stephen, Austin, Kieran, Burnsy, Otley. Ooh. That was tight, wasn't it? I'm missing a Send It or Bend It car. Eric Manetveld. Oh, we saw him already, didn't we? He just had dinner on it. Some sort of food. Josh hit me out the way, he says. These two pulling away already. 1.4 seconds the gap between Murray and Agard. Gibson moves up a position. I think from someone going into the pits again. He's got Marcus Gjesdal up ahead of him, the new Norwegian driver to join the grid for Team Viking Raiders. Andy Schwind and Ruslan. So all the newbies together on circuit here in the reverse feature race, where a pit stop is required for this one. It is twice the length of the last one, and they are limited to 1 gallon of fuel. So everyone has to complete 1 pit stop in this race and put some fuel in. Not sure if that was explained to these guys actually, Ruslan, Andy, Marcus, but there you go. It's in the rules, I'm sure. I'm certain it's in the rules. Let's have a look at this top train then. Patrick Dupart is fighting with Jack Johns by the looks of it. Up towards the kink is not a fun place to race, but it looks like they're going to do it. Around the outside goes Patrick. Oh, he nearly lost the rear. Equilacquay, is he going to come through as well? No, Patrick slots in between the two of them as they go down towards the corkscrew. Jesus is doing quite well actually, thinking about it. He's up in P14. Daniel Downing up ahead of him. Greg Otley, Stephen Burns, Kieran Dempsey, Stephen King chasing down Austin Farr in the Street Casuals machine. Jake Cranston up into P6 from starting in 16th. Nearly hits Kyle into the final turn. Kyle gives him a wide berth and gets a better run as well. And some slipstream from Andre Mayerek with Sam Van Olst behind him. Corpus and Loic Thon, newbie in the 690 car there on the left, going side by side down the straight. It's drag race time. Lurcher's Gaming Engine versus which team is Loic Thon in this season? He has made it into the final cut. Corpus out-dragged him in the end. Loic Thon, where did I put him? I think he's with Parallel Racing Group with Morgan Burkhard and Alejandro Caraday. Another new team for Morgan Burkhard, who I think has changed teams every season in Jetta Cup history, as opposed to the guys that have stayed with the same team in all of Jetta Cup history. Eric Manetveld is way out. Michael Johnson out of the race with connection issues. Who's the closest fight? I think it's Cranston and Ridley still. Let's stay with these two. Jake Cranston and Kyle Ridley then. The Australian versus the Brit. 300 ping versus 69. Got the number 1 on his car for the final time in this stream until potentially the end of the season. And season 2024 comes around next year. Going to be running the 78 for the first time since season 1. When he started off as an independent driver, and then I think he joined Masters of Talk mid-season. Kept his DHL sponsorship at the time. Carl Ridley goes into the pits. Is that a drive-through, or is he just actually pitting? Can't remember. Maybe you can tell me. Cranny, you were the one racing him. Oh, he is pitting, so that is his first pit stop. Just in case you forgot, or anyone's new with watching with us, the rules state that you cannot pit before lap 5. You have to complete 5 laps before you pit. So unless you have a meatball, of course, in which case John Bailiff, who I think has already pit, got his meatball on lap 1. He is now currently in 25th, and I think, oh look at that, he's going to pass Patrick Dupart, who's in the pit exit, and Kyle Ridley is just up the road. Does he pass Kyle as well? You can see him. I don't think he is going to pass him. No, Kyle Ridley further up the road. Jake Cranston has just passed Andre Mayarek there. Jake Cranston says, I was independent for the first race only in the DHL machine. That would have been Daytona, was it? Or Charlotte. It was one of the Rovals. And then onwards to round 2, Jerry took Jake Cranston under his wing, joined Masters of Talk, and flourished with 2 championships, a 2nd place, I think, or was it 3rd place in season 3 after missing 2 rounds from travelling to Dubai. And then here we are with an opening pre-season test win. The first race was Charlotte, says Jan Weiswanger, and it was night time, if I remember rightly. Kieran Dempsey and Dan Downing into the pit lane. Something I didn't actually take notice of much last season, which I think I'm going to try to do this season, is pit lane times. For example, John Bailiff's pit stop was 49.2 seconds. Matt Sanderson has been in the pits. His was 37 seconds, so that's not a real pit stop. I don't know if he stopped. I reckon that was a drive-through. But the average, Jan Weiswanger, Andy Fox, Tim Rutten and Dan Thornton all have done 55-second pit stops. That's 6 seconds slower than John Bailiff. All of them have done the same. So you would have to say that the basic pit stop is 55 seconds here. As Kieran Dempsey, his pit stop is 59 seconds, so he's had an absolute mare, probably changed tyres or something. Equalaquays was 56 seconds. But the ones to watch are going to be the ones that untick their fuel, so it looks like the quicker end of the pit stops are in fact, I think, Daniel Downing, no, 53, 52. John Bailiff's got the quickest pit stop. Did he run out of fuel? John, did you run out of fuel in this race? Was it tight towards the end? Because you, sir, are 4 seconds quicker than the next guy. Daniel Downing, 53 seconds. Patrick did a 52, so he's the next quickest guy. John Bailiff with a 49-second pit stop and the fastest Sector 5 right now with the 20.5. The next quickest pit stop was in fact Patrick Dupart with a 52.7. Stephen King and Stephen Burns are in the pits now, side by side. We enter the halfway phase of this race. Let's have a look at these pit stop times. Kyle Ridley did a 53.4 pit stop, so John gained 4 seconds on him in that pit. I did untick and had 0.8 at the end. John says he had just the right amount of fuel. Stephen Burns says 27 seconds. Was this just a drive-through? I wasn't watching. Did he not just stop? Stephen King's looks like a normal one. 46, 47, 48. When does the timer stop? When you cross this exit line, I guess. It's going to be in the 50s again. 53. John, the god of pit stops this season. Is that what we're all witnessing in this pre-season race? 49 seconds, 4 seconds quicker than everyone else. Is John going to win every race this season with this pit stop strategy? Joshua Germany is still leading this race. And Duncan Murray, in fairness, Duncan, not a dig, still holding on. And look who he's got right behind him. Jake Cranston. So what's Duncan Murray going to do? Knowing that he's got a 2-time champ behind him and that this is his chance of a podium, does Duncan fight Jake Cranston, the quickest driver on the grid right now in this race? Or does he move out his way and pit? Oh! There we go. We got the answer to the question. Move out his way and pit and let Jake pass him in the pit stop phase. Of course. Logical. From the South African driver of Goldwing Motorsport. Joshua Germany fuming in the cockpit right now, knowing that he's just lost probably a few seconds of breathing space, or maybe a lap or two of breathing space. Jake probably would have passed Duncan into turn 1 anyway, to be honest. Jerry Agard there in P3. How many podiums does Jerry Agard have? 1? Duncan Murray asking what his pit stop time was whilst he's still in the pits. Can't answer that until you exit it, mon frere. There was a pit stop graphic I used to have, actually. Does it show pit stop time? Can we do this? Ooh, that's the time you're actually stationary for, though. That's annoying. So how long was John Bailiff actually stationary? 9.4. So King's was quicker. But that 4-second gain on Stephen King would have been pit entry and exit. Because stationary, King so far is the far. Oh no, Patrick with an 8.8. Anderson 8.7. So there are people that are quicker at the stationary phase. So John Bailiff is just a god. Or did you speed, John? He didn't speed because he didn't get a penalty. John is just a god of pit entry and exits. Then people are going to start practicing that now that they've heard this 4-second advantage. As we see Sam Van Olsen, Jerry Agard side by side, Jake Cranston and Joshua Germany in. Everyone in. This must be the limit. So everyone's running out of a. Oh, sorry, Andre. Seb did under fuel. He ran out. We will see how short he will stop. Let's get rid of that pit stop time. I don't know. Oh, pit lane time. There is an option. There we go. The John Bailiff strategy. Lap 1 pit stop. 7 laps on his tyres. And there he goes, up through the order. I can't even click on him, he's flying up the order so fast. 4th, that's Jake Cranston up there as well. I need to get rid of this pit strategy so we can see. Is he going to pass Jake? He's not. Oh, Jake's going to come out side by side with... Who is that? Ridley. He's currently in the lead of this race, but apparently Loic Thorne is showing us first. Does Loic not pit? Loic has not pit, so he's doing an extra lap to everyone else. That is true. Jake Cranston now in P2. You've got Carl Ridley surrounded by the Win It or Bin It boys. And there you can see the pit lane timers. So it is We're all unsure on what happened with John's pit stop, to be honest, because even Carl Ridley 53.4, Jake Cranston 53.4, Josh Germany 56, 57. I know I lost out. What was my pit stop time? I felt like my pit stop was rubbish. 54.8, so it's not terrible compared to the other guys. That's annoying. I did get passed by both the ORD boys, though, in that phase. Greg Otley now. 57 versus 53, says Duncan. Is that your own time you're looking at? 57.4. Yeah, you're losing out a lot of time on the pit stop phase, Dunky. I don't know why yours is so quick. 49.2. And they all go up into the top 3 now. Carl Ridley looking close. Can you move over? Oh, was this where Jake gave him a penalty? Ooh, was that it? Was that the penalty moment? Because that, to me, was Carl turning in. From that point of view, anyway. Let's rewind. Nope, he's already passed, and I can no longer rewind any further. I'm going to have to do it this way. This will break the overlay. Oh, actually, I've just seen Jake's comment. I don't want to watch it anymore. Let's watch this instead. Let's watch Jan Weiswanger. Anyway, Jake Cranston and Ridley fighting up the front. So let's have a look at what happened. What happened to the top. Jake Cranston hunting him down. John Bailiff is sat behind him right now. Into the corkscrew they go. Jake gets a nice line through there and a good exit. Looks down the inside of Carl Ridley already. Ooh, is he going to understeer into him? No contact there. Carl moves back over on him there. Into the fast right. Lean on him. That looks... Ooh, gave him room. Gave him room. Oh, and then there's the nudge. Carl moves right over. Oh, dear, oh, dear. I mean, I don't know what you want me to watch. You just want me to see Carl turn into you 3 times? Is that what this is? And then he does it again here. Yeah, guys, we should lower the X limit because driving, it ruins racing. Maybe I was too quick to raise it back to 20 because those X's, in my opinion, were all deserved. But how many of them were reactionary to an initial drive-through? Do we know the answer to that? When was the initial rage? Which one of those was the 15x limit hit? Yeah, I know he got a drive-through, Duncan, but which one? You just saw him hit each other 3 times in 3 corners. Which one? Which one was it? The Goldwing drivers 2x2, hurrah, hurrah. ORD are 2x2, hurrah, hurrah. Win it or bin it are 2x2. Lurchers Gaming are 2x2. Viking Raiders are 2x2. Everyone's 2x2. It was before the final turn. I tried to move back to the racing line and didn't notice Kyle still on my door. Before the final turn. Yeah, so into the fast right. I don't know if I can rewind again. In fact, no, it's not a proper stream, so let's rewind again and have a look at it one more time. But respond quicker, because there's a delay in chat. I've got time. So far, he's probably he's 1 hit away from a drive-through or a meatball, right? What's the best way to watch this? Let's do it Steward style. So he moves over on you there. Oh, I see. Okay, then. So it's a Jake Cranston Okayama issue. It's not 5 seconds. Oh, is it 5 seconds? That would be... Do you know... I suppose I better get my steward head back on. It's not a penalty. It's not a penalty, and it's if we're sticking with the old the outcome shouldn't determine the penalty. If we're sticking with that, which isn't always the case, but in this case, yes, Carl got a meatball potentially if that was a meatball, and if it but they're both still in the race. They're both still side by side, and there wasn't an advantage gained by the contact. And if it was a penalty, then turning in here and at the next corner would have undone it anyway. It would have just then been a racing incident. I don't understand. This looks reactionary if that was the issue. So I'm guessing Carl's just angry now, trying to give Jaco a drive through. What's he doing? Why is he losing his head? Anyway, Jake Cranston leads the feature race. Yeah, twice, Alex, I know. Twice. Craziness. Let's get rid of those pit stop times that no one cares about, says Jake Cranston. Here we go. I actually don't know. That should have been... That was 12x right there, surely, from Kyle, no? The one from you into the final turn might have been too soon to register another one, but definitely 8x from the turn 1. I think Jake was one hit away from a drive-through, to be fair, if I remember rightly, in both races. Dan Downing. Is Dan Downing going to pass Duncan Murray? Oh, he's blinking, so we can't watch it. Is Patrick DePark going to pass Andre Marek? Is Jan Weisswanger... Oh, Jan Weisswanger is not under pressure because all of these guys are fighting into the corkscrew. Austin Farr is having an absolute mare down in P20. That boy not got enough points in these cars already. Number 2, where to close? That is 8x. Oh yeah, number 2 was too close. That is 8x, yeah. Yes, indeed. Lap 12 of 16. David Corpus has newbie Loic Thon chasing him down. Spare a point for an old back marker. I think, well, everyone does get points, to be fair. The whole grid gets points. Down to 36th. 32 in this race right now, but this is a pre-season test, so no points on offer. I'm sure the racing will... oh, look at Austin Farr. Have a sendy look down the inside of Ruslan there. I'm sure the racing will change for round 1 when points are on offer. Yeah, I know Corpus is missing his one number in the window. I don't understand why his is the only car that does it. There's clearly a setting that is not on. We go through this sort of thing every time. Patrick Dupart, Jack Johns. Patrick bounces over the curb. Jack round the outside. Joshua Germany is going down the... Oh, that's why. Oh, I can't... yeah, let's rewind. I want to see what happened. Why did he do this? Nothing happened. Does he get a 1x? Stephen King's rage quit because he hit the 15x limit. So, Alex, there was a 15x limit in these races. And this is the effect it had on some of the top drivers. Not all of them, admittedly, but most, I think, fell foul. Yeah. Jake ended only with 11 because he's a very safe driver. I agree, Jake. Anyone that did not hit that 15x limit is probably the cleanest drivers on the grid. I completely agree with you, Mr. Cranston. Downing is still not past Duncan Ray. Are you two just holding position in this Goldwing formation, or Are you just too quick, Duncan? You're too quick for him. Duncan Murray, the new #1 driver at Goldwing Motorsports, confirmed. Sam Van Olst in the mud. Dan Downing, the same as he's ever been. Kieran Dempsey making his return, just closed in quite a lot on Sam actually. 4 tenths the gap. Loic Thon is chasing down Jan Weisbanger. Oh, Jan, don't go out there. You're in P15. Now you're in P16. And is Ezekiel Okoye going to come through as well? Ooh, not quite. Jan nearly had another quick look. Didn't pull it off. Sebastian Hallmichael for Meatball Motorsport is running in P13. See? That's what this X limit does. Gives people an opportunity. People didn't want it though. I felt like Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes at the top end of the grid were like, no, we don't want this X limit because it gives Haas and Williams a chance at scoring more points this season. That's what it was like. Unreal. Honestly, I'm not fast. I think I changed it to 20, guys, for those of you that are here. It's gone up to 20. Oh, you can't do different limits for each race, which is annoying. But it's 20. I'm fairly certain it's 20x now for a drive-through, and then 26? Maybe 21x and 26 for... I think 26 is a DQ. So, careful of that one. P7. 2 ORDs in the top 10. Dan Thornton in 23rd. What we got here? 2 Masters of Torque, 2 Win It's or Bin It, 2 Goldwings, 2 ORDs, 3 Goldwings in the top 10. I take that back. Oh. Andre's under pressure. Pressure. What would your thoughts be? Jake Cranston. What would your thoughts be if this was in your mirror? Race over. Drive through. Crash. Oh. I do not remember doing that. I thought it was going to be a contact one. Anyway, Ridley has disappeared. Is he out? Was that a DQ? Disconnect, I mean? Australian connection? John Bailiff is hounding Cranston right now. Jay Decker says, I'd be checking my medical insurance if that was in my mirrors. Dan says, is this now? It's not now, Dan. No, it's not. I mean, I am watching it right now. It is live right now. I can respond to you. John, do you win this? You could have won this. Be a man. Break later. Break later. Oh. Oh! Oh. Oh! Side by side! Oh. Oh! Boo. Oh, Jake moved over on you there. That's naughty. Spin him. Spin him. Spin him. This is actually quite a good race. John Bailiff is trying. John Bailiff, one driver out of the 36 that will try and fight Jake Cranston. That's not fair of me to say. There are quite a few actually that would fight Jake these days. I disagree, Cranston. I will happily sit in front of you at any track. Now that you have learnt to adjust your lines to me, because I can't hit an apex whether you're there or not, so now that you're aware of that, that's fine. Dan, no, these are still Monday nights due to a vote from the grid. It is still Monday nights, but I can't stay up till 2 a.m. anymore with work because it's just too much.
Understand.
Because I'm a pussy. So I'm going to broadcast it a different day. I haven't picked the day yet. I've been thinking about it whilst watching this whole stream. Fridays is likely.
Hold it, Jerry.
Although this Sunday slot seems nice. Sunday mornings, anyone? Look at this freeway fight. Jerry Agard under pressure from the Goldwing boys. Dan Downing down the inside of the corkscrew. Duncan Murray on it. Whoa! Duncan Murray on the brakes. Hits his teammate. Johns comes through past Agard. Oh my God. Duncan Murray down the inside of Daniel Downing. No wonder he was buzzing after a race like that. Andre Marek's going to come around the outside of Jerry Agard. Dan Downing putting all sorts of pressure on. And Johns looks to the inside of the final turn. Duncan Murray blocks him. He's going to go around the outside. Is Dan Downing going to go around the outside? No. Jerry Agard and Andre Marek going to be side by side. Do you know what? I didn't know any of that was going on when I was in this race. Well done, John and Jake, for that battle at the end. Don't know why you didn't hit each other. Could have given a drive. Whoa. That's Sam Vanels. The slowest Goldwing driver now of the three. Let's do a quick check if the results page works. It does. The results page does work. Jake Cranston wins both pre-season test races. John Bailiff gets a P2. Duncan Murray gets a podium when it doesn't count. Let's see if he can do it in the... Whoa, sweary.
Why aren't you
That was funny though.
to go for 60 or nonce or something?
Does this conversation carry on, Duncan? Should we turn this off? It's Jay Decker. I don't know how to answer that question. The car just allows you. Well, do you know what? Most of the guys who know how this car works are in this chat anyway. What was the first? Try and remember, guys. Years ago, the first time we drove these cars, what was like the first rule that we had to learn to get quicker? I think it was gear changes. I feel like gear changes was the first thing to gain time. You don't let it rev its tits off, basically. The reason I like them is because of the brake. The brake, I feel like you can brake as late as you can. Trail braking is quite important. Getting on the throttle early. I feel like Jake Cranston is one of those drivers that uses, like basically uses throttle and brakes at the same time. Like there's no in between. There's almost no coasting. You can tell me if I'm wrong or right there. I'm just assuming. It's not like the Clio where there's like a gear shift range. Alex says 3.9. But definitely, yeah, you want to use a gear higher in almost every corner that you would in a normal car. Steering lock is John's friend. I have noticed that John loves a fucking full lock turn. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Good thing we're not on VCO. Piccolo Bambini says, yes, I'm guessing to Cranny Carts. Can we have voice chat on during the streams? We can't, I'm afraid. We actually can't. Because as funny as that conversation was, and as funny as they might be, I just can't trust all 36 drivers to be within those rules. And the rage as well. I can't just pause, because this is a different stream. This isn't a race stream, obviously, which is why I've been casually talking. In the actual stream, I can't just pause during race battles whilst Dan Downing rages at someone for taking him out or something. It can't be done. I have to turn it off. And especially, I mean, you've all seen the new intro, right? Imagine that live on stream. Sam Van Olst, yes, John, that is, we all know that's who I'm really talking about. Because it's just, he is something else. I am sure. Jetta understeer equals steer more. Jetta oversteer equals steer more. Yeah? Fair. I'd take that. Anyway, pre-selection race done and dusted. Stream seems to work. Streaming replays seems to work. I don't have your telemetry details, Jake. I've just raced you for years, and I know this. I don't use telemetry because even with it, I don't go any quicker. I peak early, so it's a waste of my time. For example, in the Boring Car Championship, my most successful race is the one that I didn't practice for. How's that going, by the way? I didn't watch the last two. How was Snetterton? Was it Snetterton last one? I know that it's close still between Henny and Cranny. Is there anything I need to test before? Everything worked. All the overlays worked. The flags are all there. The stream was okay. Replays are a little bit dodgy, but we knew that was going to happen. Can you guys think of anything else that needs to be tested before media day? The only thing that I'm concerned about are liveries. Liveries need to be finished. If I go back to the start of this race, I can see whose liveries need to be done and whose don't. Patrick made a move. That means the stream must have been awesome. He didn't sit there. Did it work? Did they crash? I'm not going to be able to fix the reverse grid overlay. That's going to be broken. The reason that's not working is because it's a replay file. So unless I do it live, it won't work. I'm just gonna have to. I think the easiest way to do it would be to show the race results like this of race 1, because they're correct, and then I can just say Duncan Murray's going to be starting on pole. Yeezus, Andre, Sam, Jerry, Josh, Greg, Austin, Kieran, Carl, Stephen, John, Dan, Patrick, Jake. That works. I won't use the grid. You're only paying $15.50 then. You've paid 20 quid for a lot less, so I'd keep your mouth shut. What's Apex? I'd like. Do you know what, John? You might be up for this. Maybe not. I don't know if there's any at a good time. But like, is it Apex Racing League that are the big one, the big boys? I swear they charge like 35, 40 quid. But what would you do? Would you do any of their series with me just to see what that is worth? Duncan, you only paid $5.50 because you have to pay more depending on how successful you are. Jake Cranston's entry fee is actually £200. Unless he gives me another backstage pass to the historic in Dubai, and then it's $15.50. There was one thing. Could test this. Has that got the little music? You can't have a Jetta season without playing music through race 2, right? So that works. Ooh. Would it be, come on John, it'll be fun, and then I quit after 2 rounds? Name one time I've done that. That's Josh. Josh does that. It's not me. Anyone here Lance Stroll isn't racing this weekend? Oh, fair. VBTCR, yeah, you're right. No, you are right. VBTCR. Well, yeah, but that was different. That was different. I did the full first season. Second season, I wasn't going to stick around for that penalty system at that time. I did. The racing was great, and some of the people were really nice, but I know people say Pulse's bias is a joke, but that bias was unreal. Like, it was real. I've forgotten what I was doing. I was going to check something and I've forgotten what it was. Oh, liveries. Season 2 champs. Is this the current Masters of Talk staying? Free races, it's over. I'm guessing the Masters of Talk liveries are staying. Let's have a look at these. Duncan Murray. That looks fine. Goldwing is the same. Lurchus, probably the same. ORD, probably the same. ZFG. Oh, I think Greg is running the old one. Let me write this down. Greg. Wait, liveries. Greg. Gerg. Austin's is done. Kieran's is done. Carl's is done. Stevens is done. John's is done. Dan Downing. Patrick. MOT. Meatball. Ika. Low. It's a parallel racing group, basically. At Morgan. Meatball would be missing one. Have you done one for your new teammate? Who's joining the team? Is it Tim? Meatball. CFG. Well, Martin Wallace didn't do this race. I just realised Wallace wasn't in there. Marcus needs his Viking Raiders one. Ruslan has ZFG. That's Viking Raiders. Joe Gibson has it on. Corpus. Tim, that's Meatball. That's everyone right now, I think. Oh no, that's not everyone. There was people missing, like Gushwind and all that. I just went through the whole grid though. Street Casuals, Gushwind. Hello guys and girls, welcome to the Racing Lines Checking Your Homework stream. I'm not going to disagree with that, Jake, to be honest. I think the Masters of Talk livery looked nice as it was. It doesn't need to be changed every season. Jan said Tim needs to be sorted. Who is this? Gushwind. Street Casuals. Andy. Who else would I have missed? I think that's everyone who was in this stream anyway. Okay, well, I think that I will wrap this up because the Grand Prix is probably going to start soon. So thank you all for joining for the pre-selection quali testing, pre-season testing race or whatever this was, just to test overlays and stuff. It all seems to be working. Good luck to those of you that are racing in Media Day tomorrow. Lime Rock West Bend. This is what it looks like. Lime Rock West Bend tomorrow. It is Media Day. Race properly, please. Thanks. Let's watch the intro one more time before we say goodbye. Oh, look at that! That's going to be a picture. Can't forget the outro. What was the outro? If I don't see you on chat this week, then I'll see you next week for the next stream on the here on the Racing Line. Oh my god, it's been so long. We need a new one. Can't have a new outro though. Consistency. Yeah, the sound at Zambor. I know. Crazy. I want to watch it again, but I'll watch it in my own time. Thanks for joining, guys. If I don't see you on chat this week, I'll see you next week for the next video here on the Racing Line. Peace.